What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Demon Show. And today we are going to be going over the latest developer update for South Park Phone Destroyer. From Ubi Toller, she says, "Hello everyone, it's Toller here, sneaking into the empty studio once more to bring you our newest developer update. So for this week's events, it's going to be Mecha Timmy Tim 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 Tim. Wait, let's go over one more thing real quick before we read this. It says it's ranged week, so if you're like me and you prefer an archer to a tank, this is for you. The Rangers Challenge will be up in the middle of the week, so keep an eye out for that. This week will also be a good one for those who enjoy card use events the most. We've got one almost every day. Here are the events and the cards you'll be able to use for each one. Right on. So, as you can see here, for Monday, it's going to be Mecha Timmy, Marine Craig, Alien Clyde, Alien Drone, Mind Control, Astronaut Butters, Tool Shed, Chicken Coop, Regeneration, Mimsy, Stand of Many Moons, and Classy. Very awesome for them to share the information for the entire week of for each card use event. So I'm going to go over each one of these. It's going to take a minute here, but it's very awesome because it lets everybody know if they can look forward to an event even more than normal, because there might be that one particular card that you say, I wish there would be an event that would allow me to boost this card up so I can try them out. So, props to Ubi Toller for putting this together and having the info to be able to share with us on the card use event here, right? So, on Tuesday, the Angel Wendy will have Angel Wendy, Unholy Combustion, Hermes Kinney, Zen Cartman, Hercules Clyde, Poseidon Stan, Fast Pass, Transmogrify, Terrence and Phillip, Marine Craig, Bandita Sally, and Mr. Mackey. For Wednesday, it's gonna be Human Kite, The Chomper, Tool Shed, Tupperware, Dwarf King Clyde, Buccaneer Bebe, Nelly, Witch Garrison, Scout Ike, Enforcer Jimmy, Sheriff Cartman, and Starvin' Marvin. And for Thursday, well, Thursday is the token event. So that's the only token event this entire week. Nobody really likes token events as much anymore, since you don't get double anything. And you don't get boosted cards, so they're not nowhere as near as fun as the card usage events, which it used to be kind of backwards. But it's more like token events are still the same, and card usage events used to be even worse before, but now they're just great, right? So for the Incan Craig weekend event, I know you guys are all excited to get Incan Craig promoted for a weekend before he gets nerfed, but unluckily he's not going to get nerfed anytime soon. As I mentioned last week, based on the comments in the developer update and the replies, what I could see was that there was not going to be any update changes to balances for over a month. So we still got at least another 3 weeks, or it might be the entire season until next season before we see a change, I guess is the best way to put it. But I knew this from last week. You could kind of tell by what was said. But the Incan Craig weekend event has Incan Craig, which actually, speaking of which, I do have level 3 Stand of Many Moons, so I will be able to boost up my Incan Craig. For the first time, I'll be able to play him at level 3 this weekend. So even though most people might be definitely done and over with seeing Incan Craig, because I definitely see a ton of Incan Craig and Pope Timmy. Yeah, Incan Craig and Pope Timmy together. Literally, you use Pope Timmy, or use Incan Craig right at the beginning of the match on anything, and then Pope Timmy him back on anything, and that's literally what everybody was doing yesterday for the entire meta. It was, but this is like the last month, but I definitely seen it a lot, like every game yesterday. For the end of the season push, that's what everybody was using. So lame. But anyway, I'll actually get to play him for level 3 for the first time this weekend, so that'll be kind of cool, I think. While he's still buffed up and whatnot. Anyway, it's Incan Craig, Pocahontas Randy, Hookhand Clyde, Fireball, Pirate Ship Timur, Smuggler Ike, Tupperware, Paladin Butters, Cupid Cartman, Alien Queen Red, PC Principal, and Nathan. Which I do like the card selection here. I'll be able to play Tupperware with Cock Magic and whatnot like I was last weekend, but we can also use Alien Queen Red boosted up. I need to get my PC Principal to level 6 so I can use him to boost up other rare cards in neutral. I think that would be very awesome, but I'm just... Actually, it's gonna be... It's gonna be Nelly that gets to level 6 before PC Principal if I do not request PC Principal, now that I think about it. So, we've got these. I'm going to leave these on here for a few seconds in case that you want to pause and look at the list. I know I kind of went over it kind of quickly, but here's the list for the first 2 days. And here's the list for the next day and then the weekend. That should be plenty of time to pause and look if you didn't listen. Alright. And next, the known issues. The fix we discussed last week is now available. Hurrah! If you update your game and you still run into the previous issues, which are no lockers after call girl tasks not being completed properly. Those are the two main things here that she's talking about. Please reach out and let them know. You can either let her know, not Buck, he's still away, and your message will not be answered quickly, or you can reach out to Ubisoft customer support team, which I will have the link to the developer update for you to go to that if you need to, because I'm not going to link that. If you are one of the final players to still not hear back about the missing card packs from Battle Pass Claim All issue, which I warned you guys about, but not everybody watches the Haze Demon show, right? So not everybody knew my warning. He was able to heed it. Please also reach out to Ubisoft support for that as well. Anyone I've reported has been adjusted, but if anyone out there is still missing items, they are going to be the ones to help. As a general reminder to those who don't know, there is sometimes an issue with collecting reward packs in Team Wars. If this has happened to you, don't worry, it's easy for us to check and see what you earned if the animation was skipped for you. Please let me know in your in-game name when you check in about this issue. I do not need that to look it up. I'm out of the office today she does need that to look it up. And she's out of the office today as it's holiday here in S. But we'll get back to regular hours tomorrow, and I'll be sure to get back to you as quickly as can. Yada, 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 yada. Bug, support. Season reset. Tomorrow will be the first Tuesday of August, which means it will be time for our season reset. There will be no balance changes this season, as the launch of superheroes occurred instead. We do still have our list of who needs to be looked at, though, so don't think any of your comments about this have been ignored. We're still keeping track of what everyone is sharing and discussing. Also, if you run into a missing pack issue here, like the one I mentioned above, the same procedure can be followed there too. Let me know your current in-game name, and I can check that for you, which is not me, because I cannot do that. So, I think that they should just take the top 10 worst cards in the game and buff them. I've seen it in the stats, in the comments and everything, and yes, maybe that's what we need to do. We need to make a video of the top 10 worst cards in South Park Phone Destroyer. As there's a lot of cards that are just not, generally, they're just not good enough. They just don't do a significant amount of a job to be worth the energy value. And obviously every card in the game can be made better by just lowering its energy cost, because then it helps you be able to rotate your deck and play other cards that are good, which still doesn't make the card better. It just makes it to where your deck is better consistently, like energy wise, but that doesn't make a card better. Lowering its energy, changing its stats of like speed of walking or flying, or attack rates or ability differences, rather than nerfing just like health and attack or energy changing. You know, like obviously, like I said, any card can be buffed by lowering its energy, but changing its stats to actually balance it out with the rest of the game, or like its ability, really would make the difference. And they just take the longest time in the world to change cards that people really do get bored with this game, because it just doesn't, the meta doesn't change. It doesn't allow for people to play outside of the box. You don't have like 10 different strategies in the game or whatever. I mean, there's obviously like thousands of different combinations of decks, right? But they need to open the horizon of the meta decks, I suppose you could say. Like, more than one card could be switched out with any card in a theme in order to still make it viable deck, because the card isn't gonna hold back the rest of the deck for just being in it. But anyway, I am 100% rambling. I could probably just talk about this all the time, and honestly, balance changes, I don't find a reason to really talk that much about balance changes, because I'm not going to influence anybody to change the game. I know I'm not going to influence them to change the game, and the majority of people are not going to be able to influence the game. The only people that are going to be able to influence the way the game is changed is the creators of the games themselves, because they talk to each other about what they want to do, and their boss tells them what they're allowed to do. So I try not to worry about it that much, honestly, and just let it happen whenever it's gonna happen. But I do think that the changes in this game are very slow, and every season there could be like 10 changes to the game, to cards, and then the next season you can just fix anything that's wrong. You know, you don't have to play test every single thing in the game for a couple months before you're like, well, I think that's okay for us to put in the game now. You could let the people, you could let the community test your balance changes and then make adjustments constantly. But it's too much work, I guess. Anyway, that's gonna be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and a subscribe and a comment down below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to bring a towel. Peace out.
You wanna know how I got these scars?
Shut up, Mimsy!